Hello everyone. We have already walked in. This is VA Hub. This is a really great entrance. Today we have with us the Digital Arts Foundation's director, teacher Wang Bo-wei. Hi, teacher Bo-wei.
Hello, teacher Chiao-Mei.
Today we would like you to take us to see the VA Hub space. Because VA Hub has so many collaborative teams like Mark's Fabrications, Solid Memory, Telintent, and a great exhibition space. What's most important is that not only is there an exhibition space, there's also an educational streaming room and green screen studio. Today, we would like to ask teacher Bo-wei to help us.
Okay, let's go. This is our Solid Memory. Solid Memory is a 3D scanning company. They specifically do 360-degree 3D scanning. And also, the Palace Museum has some artifacts that require high-resolution scanning. These can also be supported by the 360-degree scanning equipment at Solid Memory.
This is made by hand-welded and hand-assembled.
Okay.
This chimney was also done that way.
That's awesome. Now, the video that's playing, it's from this year, at the beginning of the year, in our experimental play at the National Theatre and Concert Hall. Let's enter the experimental theater and put on a show.
Now, what we are looking at is our directing room and green screen studio. We have this kind of small directing room and the green screen studio actually because we have a podcast. And we have some online recordings of some related information or videos. We created for everyone a guide to some important art, digital culture, and technological resources. We hope that through this kind of dissemination of knowledge, or deeper interviews with artists, or deeper discussions with artists, and then with respect to different works or different new trends, that in our own words, we can help everyone understand better. What you see behind me is the current exhibition. This ayahuasca exhibition space actually is also because, like we just said, Taipei doesn't have this kind of space. So, we hope that by having this relatively large, specially dedicated AR or VR exhibition space, sometimes it's an exhibition, sometimes it's a performance. Other times, it is even a longer rehearsal opportunity on site here. This way, it can take a work through a relatively long process in creation, and then give it a better integration, and then produce it. VA Hub actually is run together by ET at T and the Digital Art Foundation. ET at T, relatively early in about 1995, was a team created by 3 artists, Huang Wenhao, Zhang Alf, and Wang Furui. In earlier years, they actually established IT Park together with some of the current famous first-line artists. Then why did the artists later create ET at T after 1995? It's because early on, these artists, most of them were influenced by abstract art. So they started thinking, what will abstract art be in the future? Many artists thought that by only conceptually retaining the mystical experience of abstract art, many problems of abstract art could be solved. So many of the artists that did abstract art at that time started to explore the abstract and mystical experiences, mystical processes, or the occult. But like Huang Wenhao, Zhang Alf, and Wang Furui, these artists, because they had a relatively flat background in natural sciences, They thought that abstract art, the kind that pushes your senses to an extreme, or the most extremely simple, what's holding up this kind of art might be a different technological era and different types of technology. So they later parted ways with their artist friends at IT Park. They thought that after the late 90s, what they should explore is actually forms of technology and its relation to different feelings or states of mind. Forms of technology might have their own eras. So from that time, they started a web video channel, internet activism, and try all sorts of technologies and the different states of feeling that might be produced. So this year, VA Hub was established apart from the Zhongshan North Road base was actually because of what we felt over the past 2 or 3 years. And we think that in the next 5 to 10 years, virtual reality and augmented reality should be approached from the perspective of images. It will integrate past, kinetic machinery, digital art, new media, robotics, and artificial intelligence. It is a developmental direction for different technological conditions and different creative forms. In Taiwan, apart from the Kaohsiung Film Archive, Taipei doesn't have a dedicated space that provides this kind of VR exhibitions or artistic scope. We think that there seems to be a need for this sort of integrated space. And then we brought together those that we've trained and some related partners to create a relatively intense resource sharing and information sharing, and then an exhibition space for mutual discussion of knowledge. This is how we started. This is how this sort of VA Hub was established here.
Thank you very much, Teacher Bowei, for telling us about the development of VA Hub. For current high school students that want to enter new media art or want to develop their futures, because the current world needs to have a lot of possibilities for different attempts, what advice would you give them?
If there are students that want to develop in new media art, actually new media art is a very broad area. From display technologies, digital design, technological art, and new media art, they all have a very broad spectrum. From the most artistic to the most commercial cases, everyone. Actually, this has so many different kinds of work or areas of work. You can think about how when you see light sculptures, or when you see a lantern festival, or when you see kinetic art, or when you see large installations, or even the interesting works you see at your college's athletic association. Actually, they are all under new media art, or in the area of technological art. So, if you want to go in that direction, there's not a specific thing that you have to do, or specific abilities that you have to have. Actually, I think that as far as knowledge goes, or explorations, you should enjoy doing a lot of things. Basic IT abilities might be a requisite, and then you should have some, you might need to. You should often view exhibitions and performances to cultivate your own aesthetic experience. I have a lot of friends that are more like engineers or in the field of information technology. In addition to reading books on technology in their specializations, they might read a lot of manga, watch a lot of anime or cartoons to stimulate their imaginations, because a lot of immersive art and technological art, this kind of imagination, is actually from cartoons or from influences from manga. So actually, there isn't something that you absolutely have to do, but you should maintain a curiosity towards the world. You should have the attitude of wanting to try everything. Then you can try it yourself. I think this kind of open-minded attitude of facing the world, for trying digital tools, maintaining an open attitude is probably, I think, if you want to work in technological art, it's the most essential attitude.
we have come to an exhibition area. This is Taipei National University of the Arts Center for Art and Technology's exhibition room. We are very honored to have with us teacher Oh Xiu-Yi. Hello, teacher.
Hello, host. Hello, students.
In a moment, we will ask our teacher to share with us the center's secrets and some stories. Our first question is about TNUA's Center for Art and Technology's Central Development and Positioning.
Taipei National University of the Arts Center for Art and Technology was established in 1992. The center is actually the research unit that first integrated art and technology in research and creativity in Taiwan. The center has actually, for a long time, developed and integrated Taiwan's artistic and technological fields. The main goal of all of this is to actually strongly support new media, art exhibitions, and events, and bring together a platform to propel research and creative development in Taiwan's new media art. This obviously includes us and industry, a collaboration between academia and industry. One work here that's very much worth discussing is Twist to Bloom. Twist to Bloom is an installation. It actually was a collaborative project between our center and NTUA's dance department. We also collaborated with an exercise equipment producer to develop a smart exercise device. As for our collaboration with NTUA's dance department, actually we collected data from the motion of a lot of students of NTUA's dance department. Then we consolidated this data into a database. The center's mission for creation and development actually, at different points in time, has different emphasis. Within this, one very representative work is Explore Along the River during the Qingming Festival. Actually, this work was a very large project. It was a collaboration between the center and the Technological Art Institute. Actually, this was the predecessor to the master's program of the New Media Art Department.
Because this video is a class that high school students will watch on New Media Art, do you want to say something to encourage them?
I think I would encourage high school students they can, because right now self-directed study is a common thing. If you have some basic technical abilities, whether it's video editing or audio processing, audio editing, or even, I know a lot of high school students study coding now, so fundamental abilities. But I think the most important is once you enter the field, or when you are in college and enter a new media art, or when you enter technological art, I personally think the most important point is to keep an open mind. That's to say, keep your mind and spirit in relatively open state. We shouldn't be afraid to collaborate with people in a different discipline or collaborate with people that work in a different media. Because only if you have this kind of spirit or have this kind of courage can you actually, in the future, when you create, make its potential even bigger.
Thank you, teacher, for letting us interview you today. In a moment, teacher will take us into the exhibition. We'll learn more about the works. Teacher, let's go in.
汴河岸边有一家传统的饭馆，门前牌坊上有金兰居与包办南北酒席的字样。
Everyone, we just went to Taipei National University of the Arts Center for Art and Technology. Do you remember the work that we saw called Explore Along the River during the Qingming Festival? You will find that actually in works of new media art. You don't necessarily have to go to a special exhibition organization. Actually, Ordinary museums and art museums have a lot of interactive experiences. Can you guess where we are going next? That's right, it's the southern branch of the National Palace Museum in Chiao-Mei. The southern branch of the National Palace Museum has many new media art exhibitions. They are very fun. They add movements to traditional relics so that you can experience them with the five senses. Immersive and interactive sensing with cultural relics or instant responses. They are all very unique feelings. Now follow me. Let's go together to the southern campus of the National Palace Museum. Let's go! Hi, Yu
Hi,
Tian.
Chiao-Mei.
Long time no see. Everyone, today we are very honored to have the most beautiful guide of the southern branch of the National Palace Museum, Teacher Yu Tian. Can you talk to us about what new media art projects the southern branch of the National Palace Museum has planned and their development? I want to first know more about the recent event with drones at the southern branch of the National Palace Museum. It was probably the first time in all of Taiwan that there was a plan to have drones at a museum. So, why are there so many new media art developments at the southern branch of the National Palace Museum?
Actually, the southern branch isn't quite like other museums. We have a lot of land. We are on about 70 hectares, and the museum only occupies about 20 hectares. In the outside 50 hectares, not only do we have water, we also have bridges. It is very suitable for things like drones, that kind of large, because drone performances need a very empty place. So to the southern branch, it's a very suitable location.
So that's what it is. Because at the north branch and south branch of the Palace Museum, actually a lot of students might not know their positioning is relative to each other. Can you explain it to us?
Okay, for instance, actually, the main campus of the Palace Museum has a very vast collection of Chinese relics. Many of them come from, for instance, Asian trade imports. At the southern branch, actually, we interpret the exchange of Chinese relics from the point of view of Asia. So actually, the relics at either branch are really not very different. But at the southern branch, the exhibition halls are bigger. Then we have high ceilings, so it's actually more suitable than the northern branch to have new media art exhibitions.
I see. Today, Teacher Yu Tian, what representative exhibition halls will you take us to see?
Today, I will take you to the Feast of Bronzes behind me. Have you all noticed that, like on the National Palace Museum, its pattern is very much like the emblem of our National Palace Museum? Actually, this is the Tao-Ti pattern. So today, we will introduce to you our Feast of Bronzes. For the Feast of Bronzes, we have made a special film. It's the ritual sound of the king. It was filmed based on the theme on the chime bell of Zhongzhou.
Zhongzhou, the chime bell of Zhongzhou.
Zhongzhou, yeah, it's hard to pronounce. With chime bell Zhongzhou as the main theme, we shot an immersive video. That's really special. Inside, there's also that dragon and phoenix because on its surface, it has dragon and phoenix patterns. So we made a film about it. In a moment, you'll see it very fitting. So it's like the movie.
I'm excited now that it's mentioned. Teacher, let's go in to see our immersive movie, okay?
Let's go.
Yu Tian, the ritual sound of the king, the immersive theater that we are about to watch, because of the ancient rituals and music that it talks about, I am really curious. What is it relatively special about the so-called immersive theaters?
It uses an encapsulating kind of projection. This ritual sound of the king of ours, its theme uses what is probably traditional ritual music for accompaniment, and its displays are bronzes. It's how people from the Zhou dynasty thought they could use bronzes to communicate with their ancestors.
Inside, there is a very special part that has interacting sensing.
Okay, in a moment, after viewing the film, there will be interactive sensing. You just have to use your foot to step on the special feather pattern pictures. That will appear on the floor. We can try it together in a bit.
We're about to start.
Okay.
We have just finished watching Ritual Sound of the King, the special exhibition on bronzes. I'm sure that everyone, like me, found it very amazing. When I went in, I really got goosebumps all over. I think that what we are going to see next will be different from implements. We are going to see some multimedia exhibitions of cultural artifacts. As for the integration of new media art, we are very curious and would like to ask our teacher, Yu Tian, a question. In this cultural relic exhibition that we are going to see,
This exhibition in the back behind us is the Pleasing to the Senses exhibition. It actually brings together our calligraphy from the National Palace Museum over the years. And they are all works that have won prizes domestically and internationally. Inside, there is probably the most famous 100 horses in autumn colors on the Chue and Hua Mountains. And then inside, there's also Xiahe, so the three works are all very representative. In a moment, we will take Chiao-Mei to actually experience them.
wow, okay, I'm so excited. Then let's go. Everyone, today we have seen 2 new media arts exhibitions at the southern branch of the Palace Museum. I'm sure that everyone has learned a lot. We can also see the new media art. It's not necessarily just to be seen in specialized museums. Actually, typical art museums and other museums also have very rich new media art experiences. Now, we will ask teacher Yu Tian what new media art plans the southern branch of the Palace Museum has for the future.
The southern branch of the Palace Museum this year in November will set up a Jiayi Culture and History Hall. In this hall, we will use digital light sculpture interactions to show the big and small historic events that occur on the Jiangnan Plain. We welcome everyone to use this exhibition to learn about what has happened in Jiayi.
Remember this, students. We will later schedule our itinerary and actually come to the southern branch of the Palace Museum. We are very grateful to teacher Yu Tian today for showing us these 2 exhibitions. Thank you.
Thank you.